You know, it's no secret, man. I love Deadpool. I've loved it from the first movie. I don't think the second one was as good as the first, but I was wildly entertained by it nonetheless. And oh my God, did I love Deadpool and Wolverine. I loved it. I even got the old Deadpool and Wolverine, the Deadpool special aviation gin bottle right here, sitting in my desk. I love Wolverine. And everybody knows that Ryan Reynolds is my favorite movie star. I don't think he's Daniel Day-Lewis. I don't think he's the greatest actor, but he's my favorite movie star. Dwayne Johnson's my second, so on and so forth. Good Canadian kid too. Really like that. Well, gosh, I want to say maybe about 4 or 5 months ago, I was talking to Reynolds, and we were talking about Deadpool a little bit. And he was telling me about 4 or 5 months ago that he was writing something for Marvel, and it was going to involve Deadpool. But that Deadpool would not be the lead. Deadpool would not be the lead. And he told me at the time, and I had mentioned this to you, Rob, back then. He had told me at the time that what he believes is that Deadpool doesn't play best as a lead. Like, absolutely should have done Deadpool, Deadpool 2, Deadpool and Wolverine, but he really sees Deadpool as being most effective when he's a B-level character in something, part of an ensemble, right? Now, I never said anything publicly, but I can tell you all that now because now Ryan Reynolds has said this all publicly.
Right.
As this comes to us from the folks over at Variety, talking about the future of Deadpool, where Ryan Reynolds said to Variety this: I have some stuff kind of written, but I don't think I am ever going to center him again. Ryan Reynolds said, revealing Deadpool's life as a big screen main character might be over as far as Reynolds' iteration of the character is concerned. He is a supporting character. He is a guy who is great in a group. And I love what he says here. Speculation has run rampant on social media that Reynolds will be back as Deadpool in a secret role in Avengers Doomsday. Although the actor has downplayed such rumors, Reynolds said in an interview with THR in December of 2024, and I love this comment, that he'd love for the character to cross paths with the Avengers or the X-Men without joining either group. This tells me he understands Deadpool better than anybody, because he says this: if he becomes either an Avenger or an X-Men, we're at the end, Reynolds said. Deadpool works so well appearing with the X-Men and Avengers, but he always needs to stay an outsider. His ultimate dream is to be accepted and appreciated, but he can't be accepted. His coping mechanism of deflecting shame through humor works only when used to pave over his many inadequacies. And if and when he does become an Avenger or an X-Man, we're at the end of the journey. I love that. I love that. So look, would I love to see a Deadpool 4? Absolutely I would. But I still think one of the hardest laughs I've had in movie theaters in a long time was in Deadpool and Wolverine, when he's standing in the TVA and they give him the pitch about joining the main timeline. And he says 1 minute, and he turns around. It's a fourth wall break. He runs back to the camera and says, like, fuck you, Fox, I'm going to Disneyland. Like, I still think it's one of the funniest lines I've heard in a while. But I don't think he's wrong when he says he's probably going to be at his most potent as a supporting character. I really do. I think he's going to be an exceptional supporting character. Now, I'll tell you right up, specifically what Reynolds is writing, he did not tell me, and I did not ask. But again, this is like probably a good 6 months old now at this point. Guys, we want to take a second to thank a sponsor of today's video, Hims. I know a lot of us have weight loss goals, but actually hitting them, that's the hard part. Hims now offers access to an affordable range of FDA-approved GLP-1 medications, including the Wegovy pill at its lowest price ever and the Wegovy pen. And when combined with diet and exercise, Wegovy can help you lose up to 20% or more of your body weight by helping regulate your appetite so you eat less. You connect with a licensed provider who determines if treatment is right for you, and if prescribed, your medication gets gets delivered straight to your door, no insurance needed. Plus, you get 24/7 access to your care team and in-app support like meal plans, recipes, fitness videos, and more. Ready to reach your goals? Visit hims.com/Campea to get a personalized, affordable plan that gets you. That's HIMS.com/Campea. hims.com/Campea. Based on advertised cash price for a 30-day supply of medication only. Membership required, fee not included, and billed separately. Weight loss by Hims is not available in all 50 states. Wegovy is the registered trademark of Novo Nordisk AS. To get started and learn more, including important safety information, Wegovy clinical study information and restrictions, visit hims.com. So anyway, Rob, question for you. Do you think it's the right decision for him to start moving Deadpool back into like a supporting thing? And what do you think about him mentioning that I don't think I'm ever going to do a straight up Deadpool 4? And I don't know, what type of project do you think this is that he's writing right now?
Well, first of all, I do think he's right about that, because, you know, what's interesting about Deadpool and Wolverine is that Wolverine's story was very serious. You know, it was sort of a redemption story. All the X-Men on that particular iteration of Wolverine's planet were dead. You know, he was a broken man, essentially. And his story remained dramatic, and it had a dramatic arc, even though he's with Wade, you know, and all this insanity is happening around Wolverine. But it allowed that sort of Deadpool is sort of Wolverine's mischievous conscience. And there was something that was going on there that was really interesting. Whereas if Deadpool is too front and center and he's like that all the time, it would detract from Wolverine's actual character arc in that movie. I think that's why it kind of works. And I think it's a great example of what Reynolds is talking about. If he went back, like I think the first Deadpool film is a marvelous movie. And I think that it's a great character study. It's a great comedy. It's a great superhero film, and it's a great action movie.
And it's a great rom-com.
Yeah. It has all of those things working for it. It's kind of a perfect distillation of his character, and it works on all of those levels. And front and center in that movie, because it's sort of a schizophrenic film in terms of what genre it's in moment to moment, totally works. Because Ryan Reynolds can skate between those sort of genre definitions really easily. In Deadpool 2, there was still the ensemble, but Deadpool was leading that ensemble. You know, it wasn't like he was subordinate. Ryan Reynolds knows he's with Hugh Jackman, and people want to see Hugh Jackman, so he could step aside when need be. And so I think he realizes he's seen it work. I mean, when you surround Ryan Reynolds, you know, when you've got Wesley Snipes and you have Channing Tatum and
Jennifer Garner.
It's fun. It suddenly becomes, and his presence makes those other actors even more fun.
Yeah.
And that interaction. So I think the fact that he, like you said, that he understands that is great. And I don't know what he's going to do for the next Deadpool movie, but there's so many things, especially in the comics, that he can draw from where he is part of a team. It could be really, really interesting.
Some people are thinking like an X-Force.
Yeah.
So you could do something like that. I see him maybe even like some sideline characters of X-Men and some sideline characters of Avengers with Deadpool in a movie. Listen, one of our viewers, I love it, but I got to tell you why it wouldn't happen, named Connor the Red in the live chat, says Deadpool and Spider-Man would break the box office. Listen, I got to tell you right now, Deadpool and Wolverine made $1.3 billion. Deadpool and Spider-Man would make $2.3 billion. But here's why it would never happen. Because you either have to completely neuter Deadpool, or you'd have to put Spider-Man in an R-rated film. And I don't think Marvel's going to do either of those.
Yeah.
It's okay to neuter Deadpool a little bit when he's a secondary background character and he's in 15 minutes of the film, 20 minutes of the film, as opposed to an hour and a half of the 2-hour film. But so I agree. I think Spider-Man Deadpool makes $2.3 billion, but I don't think they can make it.
Well, you were mentioning like X-Force. There's sections of the Marvel mutant universe. Like if you had like Longshot and Shatterstar and Spiral, and you went into like the Mojo verse, which was X-Men proper, but craziness. And if they're going to go to in a more realistic X-Men way with the younger core X-Men, you could use Deadpool to take you into the more radical areas with characters like Warlock that might not work as well with a more grounded X-Men team. So that's a way that Deadpool can be utilized in an ensemble and then explore the more the stranger areas of the X-verse. And I could see that happening. I would love to see Deadpool. I mean, they already had Shatterstar, but team up with like Longshot and introduce Longshot.
Shatterstar was so great.
Yeah, I mean, and but they could do that, and there's precedent for it.
By the way, Be Unconventional in the live chat is saying, why do you feel that way when Punisher's in the Spider-Man Brand New Day? Because the movie's not called Spider-Man and Punisher. Punisher, I got news for you. Punisher's going to be in like 10 minutes of the movie. Maybe 12.
And he zipped his mouth when he was about to say a naughty word.
Yes. So like if they were trying to do a movie where Frank Castle was in a Spider-Man movie and he had like an hour and 10 minutes of screen time, they would run into the same problem. You can have Deadpool pop up in a Spider-Man movie for 10 or 12 minutes, give him his one F-bomb, say some PG-13 edgy stuff, and then you're fine. But what I'm saying is you can't do a Spider-Man Deadpool movie a la the way you did Wolverine, Deadpool and Wolverine. You can't do it. 10 minutes of an appearance like Frank Castle's going to be in Spider-Man, no problem. But you can't do Spider-Man Deadpool. I just don't think it.
And both of those characters are grounded street level characters.
Yeah.
Spider-Man's always like, look, Frank, you can't do this. So it kind of works.
Anyway, guys, question is for you. What do you think about this? Apparently, Ryan Reynolds is, implying that we're not going to get a Deadpool 4, that, you really can't have, he doesn't feel at this point moving forward that Deadpool should be a lead front and center character, but rather a part of an ensemble. And that you're never going to see him in the X-Men or the Avengers because at that point, his story's really over. I really agree with him. I think that's really insightful. Anyway, whatever you guys think about it, jump down to the comments section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show Podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.